Hey, thanks for tuning in to this edition of iHunt TV's Tips, Tricks, and Gear Reviews. I think we can all agree that 2020 was a bad year for a lot of things and a lot of reasons. But one of the good things that did come out of that was the introduction of the Tactacam Reveal trail camera. So I was going to just kind of give you a brief overview. I know I've done a video on this camera before, but just the reason I wanted to redo this thing is I've had great success with these. The one thing that I've seen on like Facebook groups and stuff, people are having trouble with them. I've had 5 of them. They've worked flawless. And rule number 1 is read the instructions. They all come with an instruction book. If you read those, I know we're guys. Guys have problems reading instructions and following them. Just do it. You need good batteries. You need a good SD card, good quality SD card. The Class 10 U3 is probably the best. Class 10 high speed. SanDisk or Lexar are what they recommend. I'm using what they call them extreme discs or something like that. They're very good. But the Tactacam Reveal camera, I've had 5 of them, like I said. The picture quality is awesome when they're set up right, and when you follow the instructions, they do work pretty much flawlessly. And one of the easiest cameras I ever had to set up. It takes 12 AA batteries here in the back panel, and it actually took longer to put the batteries in it than it did to activate the camera. You know, there are always, this is the first generation of trail camera for Tactacam, which is known primarily for their point of view cameras, which I use exclusively on iHunt TV to film my hunts. I'm filming this video right now with my Tactacam 5-point wide. But these cameras are very, very good in what they do for first crack out of the box. These guys did an amazing job. There's always things that can improve. The one thing I really like about Tactacam, at least the company, is their customer support is bar none best around. I've had great luck if I've had any trouble at all with something going wrong or I didn't understand something, and I do read the instructions, with them getting back to me and helping me out with my problems. If I've had a camera that's failed for whatever reason, I need a firmware update, they've helped me through all of that stuff. Very, very customer service oriented. And they listen. The thing is, they really listen to the user. And I've made some suggestions of things that I would change on not just this camera, but others. The apps, they're always doing updates. They're always doing upgrades. So I just say to those people, if you're having trouble, 1, first, read the instructions. If you can't figure it out, 2, call customer service, and I can guarantee you they'll make it right. They'll figure it out somehow. And then 3, if you've got an idea, instead of complaining about something you don't like, just post it out there on some of those Facebook groups that are out there with the Tactacam, because they're watching those things and they're picking up on it. They're listening to what you're saying. And I can guarantee you, if you've got a problem with it, they've probably already got a problem with it and are working on a solution. But anyway, 2020, good thing in 2020, the Tactacam Reveal was released. Nobody could get them because they were sold out everywhere. 2021 now, and what did they do? They got this camera. I've got 5 of them out in the woods. Well, 4 of them out in the woods. 1 of them's in my hand. They come out with a new camera, the Reveal X. So this is the new Reveal X, and I just wanted to kind of show you my new Reveal X that I have, and I can guarantee you these are going to go like hotcakes. So if you got a chance to get one, you want to get one. For the price point in cell camera technology, you cannot beat this camera. MSRP is about $119, I believe, same as this one, which they don't make anymore. But let's just look at these things side by side. You can see the box is slightly smaller. The X is a little bit shorter and narrower than the original Reveal. It is a little bit thicker, and there's a reason for that. All right, so here's some quick cosmetic differences right on the front. If you can see this, the X, the IR sensor is above the lens. On the original, it is below the lens. So that's one thing that's different. If you notice that the door latch on the Reveal goes down the side of the body of the case, and there's one of the complaints that people had is there's no way, a lot of cameras will have like a locking ring to be able to lock so your SD cards are safe. It didn't have one. It is a waterproof container. There's a gasket that goes around it that keeps the water out. I haven't had any trouble. They've been through rain, snow, all the kinds of elements that you could think of. But so that's one thing that's different about this camera. That one of the things that I thought would be a good idea, and other people did too. Well, apparently they did as well, because on the new Reveal X's, it does have a locking ring for a padlock. On this one, you can see that the back loops for the tree strap are right here, and it has the big loops for like a Python cable, which works very well. This one has the Python cable, which will actually go through the door. So in order to get the door open, you have to take your cable off. So if you've got a Python cable on your camera, you can put a padlock on it, or you can run the Python lock through that. So if you'll notice that the one of the differences is the latch on this one goes all the way down the side of the body. So basically the whole camera assembly in the front part of the camera swings out to expose the batteries in the back panel, or the back panel of the camera. So all the camera guts are here. It's got a big screen TV on it that you can drive through the menu, and the setup is simple. You know, you put it in setup mode and the TV comes on, and you hit the menu button, and you can scroll through all of these menus. One of the things that you do is, it is a 4G camera, and this happens to be an AT&T or a Verizon camera. If you can see that menu. I'm trying to do this from the back. If I scroll down here, this is a new camera, say, I go to QR code, enter, and you see that big giant QR code. You just scan it with your phone and activate your camera through the Tactacam Reveal app. And you have to have a data plan already set up, have your account already set up and ready to go. And you can start adding cameras to it, just like that. Like I said, it took me literally longer to put the batteries in this camera than it did to activate it. So let's look at the X. You notice again, the door latch is on the side, but it only goes, it's a lower door compartment. You'll notice right away, there is no big screen TV in there. But if you do notice on the door, there is a QR code, and this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. They removed the TV out of it, which is just one more thing that could go wrong on a camera, is a display. Let's say the display fails, and then you're kind of dead in the water. They thought, why would we need to put a screen in it when everybody's carrying one in their pocket these days? So setup is very easy. Again, you turn it on, setup mode. In the middle, you'll see all the lights coming on. So your status light's on, your SD card light is on. There's your battery signal. This is the cellular signal. It's searching for a cellular signal right now. Now I'm in my basement, so it may not pick up a good signal down here, but I have tested this camera in my basement, and even though on one bar, it still works just as designed. You'll notice again that the antenna, instead of on the top, it is a swiveling antenna mounted to the side, and there's a couple reasons for that. I think that they've had in some areas where they've had problems with like bears or animals climbing trees or whatever. The antenna on top had a tendency to be easier to break. So this one you can kind of lock into the tree a little bit better, or tuck it around the edge of the tree or whatever, so that animals won't break it. But it's still a swiveling antenna, and it will go, like that. Now, if it gets kicked off to the side, it may be a problem. But if you have a trunk, just think if you have a trunk of a tree here and you just put it like that, where it can't be, bent either way, it should be just fine. So this camera is now it's in setup mode, and you'll notice right in the middle, that little flashing blue light. Let me get my finger over there. See that? That's a Wi-Fi. So it becomes its own Wi-Fi network. Now, connecting your phone to the Reveal X is really pretty simple. When you're in the setup mode, as you've seen before, we let it fire up, and you'll see the blue light starting to blink. So you take your phone, and on your phone you go search for that network. And I've got my screen recording here, so I look on the Wi-Fi, there's Reveal. I click that, and I'm connected to the Reveal camera now. You'll see that the status light on the Wi-Fi has gone straight up blue now. That means I'm connected. So I'm going to go into the Tactacam Reveal app, and it's loading up. You tap, you go, I have poor internet connection because I'm in my basement. So, and I'm off my Wi-Fi. So I'm going to go to the Reveal X, and you'll see right there immediately it pops up. So I click the profile button, I go in and click the connect to Reveal X or SK. The SK is the new model that's coming out. And you can see I've got a live profile view of my face there. And you see that red line in the middle of the screen. That is the sweet spot in the sensor. So when you're on the tree now, you can take this in there, connect to your camera, and make sure that you're aimed exactly right. So you want to make sure that your target, your subject, target subject is on that line. So if you have deer that are, if your camera's pointed in such a way where that line is above a deer's back, you're not going to get them. It's going to not trip the sensor. So that helps you line up your camera without taking it off the tree. And then from the Wi-Fi app, you can go in and do the camera settings, and you can see all of the different options here. You can change every option on here. One of the new things about the Tactacam X or Reveal X is the check-in picture. So every time, like on the Reveal, it would update itself every night. It would communicate whether it took a picture or not, and update the statuses so that you could see your battery life, the temperature at that time, and it usually did it once every 24 hours. So the check-in picture is set to on, which means that when it checks in, it's going to send you a picture to let you know that the camera is functioning properly. It has all of the same options that the other camera did. You can set them. I'm setting right now, I'm setting it to photo video, 15-second video, 12 megapixel picture. There's a work timer. You have your delay settings, your flash, your night balance, settings check, all of that stuff, and the battery type. And the pictures will start coming to your phone just like all the others for the Reveal. But that's kind of one of the overview things for the Reveal X. The other thing I wanted to show you, and I didn't mention this, is we talked about the Reveal camera and the batteries. When this thing's strapped on a tree and you're out there and you need to swap batteries out, you swing the door open and it's on the tree, and you got to reach up in there and try to flip all those batteries out there and go them on. And it makes it a little bit more difficult. They were listening again. So when you open this up, you're like, where do you put the batteries in? Well, out on the front, there's an eject button. You push that eject button, and say I'm strapped to the tree here. I just pull this battery tray out, and I can replace the batteries, leave it on the tree the way it was aimed and pointed, reinsert the battery pack after I change the batteries out, and lock her up and turn her back on. On the side here, there's a SIM card. That's your cellular service SIM card for this device. It's basically a cell phone, and you don't want to remove that. So, and it says that in the instructions. Each camera comes with an instruction book. I would encourage you to read them before you start doing anything. But that's the new Reveal X by Tactacam. It's hitting the market right now. Later on this year, they'll be coming out with another series of trail cameras called the SK. Dual antennas, GPS tracking, all kinds of neat stuff on the horizon. They're listening to you. And at this price point, you really can't beat this remote scouting tool that you have with this camera right here.